minutes we will start the checkup of children, and important for the rider, hind check is mandatory also before the start. Hind check is mandatory also before the start. Thank you.
FEI, internetová televize o koních a lidech kolem nich. Živé přenosy, záznamy, reportáže, rozhovory či edukativní videa. Kdykoliv si vzpomenete, dostaneme vás ke koní. www.fei.cz. Service, to je servis pro vás a vašeho koně. Buďte nároční a chtějte profesionály. 30 let na trhu, více než 30 000 druhů zboží skladem, 3 kamenné prodejny i neustále aktualizovaný e-shop. Odborné poradenství k nákupu, pasování sedel na míru přímo u vás ve stáji, praní dek pro koně, sedlářské úpravy i opravy nebo vyšívání týmového vybavení, to vše nabízí společnost FEI Service. CZE, web nabitý informacemi nejen pro jezdce. Zpravodajství, reportáže, rozhovory i poutavé fotogalerie. Když chcete mít přehled o všem, co se děje kolem koní. www.jezdci.cz.
Dámy a pánové, vítejte v kouzelném prostředí středního Povltavy, místě obklopené krásnou přírodou, kde se stáváte svědky napínavých sportovních výkonů koní a jezdců. Vítejte ve Zduchovicích.
Dámy a pánové, pokračujeme dál dnešním programem. Čeká nás pohár národů. Ten první pohár národů, který dnes budeme sledovat, je určen dětské kategorii. Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue with our program today. We will see now the Nations Cup category, children.
Well, we certainly will. Good morning, everybody. Absolutely delighted to have you here joining us in Zduchovice. Welcome to what is going to be a tremendous day of international sport for the youth of show jumping, and what a great collection of top talented young jockeys we're going to see. 3 different Nation Cup competitions ahead of us, live with you on FEI TV today, and looking forward to every single moment of it. It all starts here with the children, the youngest category, of course, on the horses, and as you can see, Belgium going to kick things off, one of 8 teams in action. We've got Belgium alongside Romania, Hungary, Great Britain, Denmark, Germany, Poland, and the Czech Republic. So that's the draw order as well. Of course, we get into this opening rotation, 2 rounds of jumping, and can look forward to how this all unfolds. And we'll get a little bit of an idea. 78 seconds around this course, and the first to go, partnership that, of course, also jumped in Oklebik at the start of this year. Belgium, in fact, of course, have had a strong start with a win in Belgium and then a second equal in France as well. So they've certainly given themselves a strong footing on the across the 9 different Youth Nations Cups this year. And they'll want to get a good start here today with Eva Mendelier and Lorenzo, the gelding, the Dutch warm blood by Lorenzo VDL. Coming back to 7. Little water trays there just to draw the eye down. Line just bending to the left. Then you come round to the right. What is the final line? 5 strides. 2 strides. And then over what is the final fence. They look comfortable on the clock as well. So brilliant start for Belgium here this morning. They're off and running with a clear, and they could not have asked for any more. Of course, we'll always talk when we get into the depths of the Nations Cup scores about best potential outcome, which always means we're hoping, wishing and praying that the rest of the team can go clear. But of course, if you can get a clear round on the board straight away, you take a little bit of pressure off if there's a problem from any other of the team members a little bit later on. Well, we move on to Romania's first rider here this morning. This is Elena Batia riding I'm Legend. This by I'm Special de Musa. Now to that EQS fence, jockey that rode at the Balkan Youth Championships last year, as well as at those Youth European Championships in Italy. This is a full round coming then for the first of the riders then. It is just that one fence that gets in the way, but again, the time looks quite comfortable this morning. Just came in a little bit on the angle, never quite got straight, unfortunately, then ended up just a little bit too close to that fence and sadly getting underneath it to take it down. So that was Elena Batia there, and I Am Legend. Nevertheless, we continue now with Hungary's Lara Krespritz riding here with Caparillo KS. This actually is a Swedish warm blood, this gelding by Katengo.
We ask all dogs owner to keep their dog on a leash. Thank you.
More strides there. This looks like a double with it being in the same colours. Again, that EQS fence just catching a second rider out in a row, but it's sort of just, I guess, a little bit tempting just to cut the corner off. There is room to get yourself nice and straight. Sadly for Lara, though, hasn't quite worked out this way. It's her first international outing since last year in Samrin. Well, they also finish on the floor, same fence, but still with 3 riders to go, a lot can change, and with 2 rounds of jumping, it's my favourite saying with anything to do with team jumping in international show jumping is it very much like a game of snakes and ladders, because you can think you're climbing one way, going well, and then sadly if you have a little bit of an issue it can so easily unravel without you realising a little bit later on. But let's move on, because now the turn of Rosie Smith. This is Fruselli. Fruselli, of course, is this lovely stallion by Zambezi TN. Rosie, daughter of Great Britain's Olympic and international team medalist from the Europeans, Holly Smith. Rosie, who's been going very nicely indeed through the national ranks, building up over last year and now stepping forward very much onto this international scene. This has been a great horse for her mum. Britain were part of that run that took the equal second in the last round. It was their first outing of the year when they competed in Compiègne in France a couple of weeks ago, but they'll be delighted with the way things have started here as well, because that is a clear round on the board for Great Britain, and they join Belgium with their first rider going clear. So Rosie Smith and Fruselli there being the perfect opening rider for the British team. Now can Denmark also have a perfect round from these two? Palmer, Sofie, Jansen Christensen and Linden. The stallion had a variant stallion by numero uno goes next, trying to get the Danish team off and running to a strong start here this morning as well. Very successful on ponies last year, rode at the Pony European Championships in France, and she was part of the French team, but individually we actually finished just off the podium in 5th place. She jumped at a few of those international pony classes through the winter as well, so she's a very experienced young jockey. Well, brilliant start as well, therefore, for the team from Denmark. They do get the start they were looking for, and Palmer, Sofie, Jansen Christensen using that experience, certainly not feeling any of the pressure, and Linden there, the stallion, looking very nice indeed. So it's been a really strong start for 3 of the teams, and the other 2 teams, Romania and Hungary, only with 1 fence down. A lot of jumping still to come. We've still got 3 more teams in this opening rotation of riders, and now we move to Germany, and this is the turn of Philippa here. Philippa Woloreski riding Crystal de Lihov, the mare that goes next. And Germany, I'm sure as well, will want to do all they can to get off and running to a strong start here. As a team, they've jumped both in the opening 2 rounds of this youth series, having finished 6th in Belgium and 9th in France. Beautiful setting here in the mountains, lovely facilities, great arena, fabulous weather as well. See, there's barely a breeze, just enough to make the flags flutter gently, but this is looking good. She's taken her time, but she still should be safely in terms of the time allowed, because it is out at 78 seconds, so there's no pressure from that, and that was the slowest of the rounds. Time at the moment, certainly not a deciding factor. So Filipa Walewski there and Christel Diljuhov getting Germany off to a very strong start, as well as their pathfinder finds the right way round and gives them a clear. Leader 1 looking quite excited, ready to go, this grey stallion by number 1. First for Poland is Gaja Kazimierak going next. Just getting the horse to settle down before they get underway. Coming round to the second fence. Done across there, 7 strides through to the combination 1 and 2. These two jumped in Belgium, although not on the team. They were there in the Grand Prix. It gave them a really good warm-up to come here and be part of the team. And they've started things off with a clear round for Poland as well. So brilliantly done. So far, 7 teams gone, and of that, 5 of those teams have started with a 0 score in the opening round of this Children's Youth Nations Cup, part of the FEI Nations Cup youth season. Next to go, Home Rider. This turn, Patrick Ottani riding Ladani. This mare is by Ladanos. These two have had a busy start to the year, jumping down in Spain, jumping a lot of rounds on the Sunshine Tour back through February and March. Did well there, just put their leg on a little bit off the corner, just had to just be a bit more careful when they got to the middle part of the run of fences of 7, 8 and 9. Oh, this final line just bringing them back towards home. And a great start for the home team. They are going to be very happy with that, and certainly never easy when you have the pressure of jumping on the team, but always a little bit perhaps harder when you're the home team and you're the first rider out for them. Of course, they've had the luck of the draw, but that means, as things currently stand, with the way this sits, we have, of our 8 teams, 6 of them on a 0 score. But now we move in to the second rider, so now we can begin to think about discards, I guess. This is the turn of Juliette Bergemans, riding D-Day de Lycien Z. This is engaged, in fact, Belgium, by the great Darko, Belgian bred. Looking to follow up what we've already seen from Eva Mendelier, the first of the riders who's given them the clear. Jumping a height in this course, in this class, of 1.25 meters. Certainly making light work of it at the moment. Really positive riding. Come inside to get the turn back. Just trying to make sure there's no pressure of time, although I don't think there will be. They're motoring along. What a shame. That one fence goes down, and for the moment they can hold it as a discard. It's always better than 2, but one fence is a 4-fault score, and it just means that perhaps it adds a little bit more pressure to the remaining 2 riders from Belgium. Always going to perhaps be the favourites on paper at the performances they've given so far, and they've got a lot of strength in depth to select from within their youth categories. Now, to Romania's second rider. Oh dear, that's gone as well, and that is a shame because it'll count, because we already have a 4 being held as a discard from Anda. This is Maria Batiera, or Ina Maria Batiera, I should say, and Kashmir, the Holstein by Contendro. And just getting things wrong at the first, and that going as well, so that will now be held as a 8 penalty discard. Romania will move on to a 4-fault score. Fighting a little bit as well, coming down to the last, although she did a really good job there of making sure she could keep the pony, I should say keep the horse, under control. It was just a little bit of a sidestep, just lost their rhythm coming in at the beginning. We've seen this fence go down a couple of times today, but unfortunately for that team, it means that they now are holding on to an 8 penalty discard, and it just maybe separate, well, it does separate Romania from those on a 0 score. So we move across to these 2 now for Hungary. Another team that'll be looking now for a clear, this time with Dalma Berezowski riding Casco. PP. Well, so far this is exactly what the team from Hungary needed, because if they can land over the last and keep it clear, it keeps Hungary very much in touch. Now, superb Brand van Dalma there, under the pressure of knowing that he already had a 4, but it means that as a team they can remain potentially on a 0 score in this first round. So a tremendous start. They'll be over the moon with that. Which means we move across to the second of the riders for Great Britain now. This is going to be the turn of their second rider, Tabby Morgan-Evans, riding here with Bermudez BDA. Of course, Great Britain already with a clear on the board from Rosie Smith and Fruselli. These two went to France a couple of weeks ago. They jumped as individuals on Nations Cup Day. Actually did very well, finishing in second in that class that runs in between the two rounds. Certainly giving one or two of them a little bit of a rub. But I think their chef d'equipe and team manager Claire Whitaker will be over the moon with the way the opening 2 rounds have gone, because Tabby Morgan-Evans follows Rosie Smith and gives Great Britain the second clear round that they were looking for, with still 2 riders to go, of course, in their team. They are, for the moment, though, at this stage, early stage, in the second rotation of riders in round 1, the only team with a double clear from both of their 2. But now we move to Denmark, and very much as well they could follow suit with a clear already from Palmer. They now have Holger Hustrup Christensen and Cavallino. It's gelding by Tannenhoff's Contier. Going very well indeed here for these two so far. They've got a lovely little rhythm going on this round. Keeps the concentration, jumps the last as well, and a great applause there. So well done to Holger Hustrup Christensen. Cavallino, as Denmark get the second clear for their team. So you get 2 clears on the board from your opening 2 riders, it really does make it a little bit more comfortable when you know you've got halfway there. Of course, we are looking for the best 3 scores in the opening round of the 4 rounds, and that is what combines to give them their team score in round 1, and then that is added to the team score in the second round. Well, next to go, Germany, another team that have started strongly here, as you would have perhaps expected. It's the turn now of Hans Hülfrecker, riding Quinn 67 by quality time. Germany again already with that 0 score from Philippa Walewski. Gelding's a 9-year-old. It's one of the younger horses in this class. brilliantly done. Very calm round of jumping, very good round of jumping there. 71.31 on the clock, so well in again on that time allowed. So they'll be very happy indeed, of course. For Germany, that was Hans Hultberger and Quinn 67, giving them their second clear round. So where does that put us in terms of rotation, and where are we going next? We're going to Poland next, of course. Here we go with Lila. Lila Kolesa riding Sherlock, giving the first fence a little bit of a rattle. But, it's still there. It's 12-year-old by Shandor 34. Poland as well got a good start from Gaia and leader 1 with that clear. Well, these young jockeys really performing at a very high level here this morning, and I speak perhaps too soon. She didn't look to do a huge amount wrong. It's been rather cheekily placed by the course designer. Oh, and they've had it down as well. They just got in on the clock, so they haven't actually picked up any time penalties. Cheeky little placing by the course designer right past the entrance gate you've got to ride, but actually I guess in that respect, you perhaps expect them to perhaps more pull towards the entrance. On this occasion, they shied to the inside, but it's cost them dearly because, unfortunately, it puts an 8 penalty score on Poland's card, although for the moment they do stay, of course, on a 0 because they could stay if they get clears from the final 2 riders, finish on 0. So we'll see how that goes. But we're back now with the final rider in the second rotation. It's the home team once more. Again, another team that has started with a clear. This is Andrzej Propaleski riding Konkabar. And this 13-year-old by Kontargos. Oh, again, similar problem, different way. Again, coming to the last, having jumped a beautiful round of jumping, and then suddenly just coming a little bit unsettled between the second to last and the last fence. They do jump it without any trouble, but the problem from their point of view is the time. 1 time penalty for every commenced second over that time allowed of 78 seconds, and that pushes things up quite quickly. Well, for the moment, the home team can still, like I would say, finish on 0 because they have had a clear round already. But that 12 penalties is a big discard now to be holding on to from Andrzej Propaleski. We now go into the third rotation of riders. And as you can see, Alabamia riding here for Belgium. I watch Van de Ulmendonk Z. Now Belgium holding a clear at a 4. Lovely round. That's what Belgium needed. It certainly means that at worst now in this opening round, Belgium's team, to keep by Philip Lecassier today, will at worst finish on a score of 4. But for the moment, will be comfortable in the knowledge that they are still on a 0 score. With a 4 as a discard, it puts them in a very strong position indeed, with just one more rider to go. So that was Elmer Vermeer jumping the clear on iWatch Van Ollendonk Z. Next to go, it's Romania. And this is a team, though, that are on a best potential score of 4. And to keep that, they need clears from this rider and the next. Now the turn of Daria Maria Copos, riding Argentina. This mare up next, 14 years of age, and a 4 and an 8. The 8 being held as a discard for the moment. I don't necessarily want to speak too soon after the problems we've seen at the last, but there's no problems at all at the last there. Lovely, lovely round of jumping. And that keeps Romania just within a fence of what could be the lead at the end of this opening round, because they now get their first clear with their third rider on Argentina. Daria Maria Copos goes clear. And with that mare, the 0 score from them means that Romania now still on a best potential for penalty outcome. Next to go, we are with the Hungarian children's team. As a team, again, another team that could yet finish on 0, but they are holding a 4 penalty discard. As this is the turn of their third rider, Greta Nisman, riding Ardazenta, a 16-year-old mare by Quicksilver. Important round. Oh no, and an important round that's gone slightly sideways. You see, she wasn't quite straight, just lacking a little bit of, well, impulsion is the word I'll use, as she just then saw the horse run off the side of the fence. Now she just not only has the 4 penalties on that scoreboard at the moment, just has to be a little bit considered to that time allowed as well. And with that fence going down, it means that Hungary will move on to a 4 penalty score after this round. And now holding an 8 penalty discard as it stands. Well, 12 it is come the end of the round. Just watching them come back down this final line. She did all she could just to sit the horse back. And again, here you can see the horse just pulling a little bit into that final fence. And unfortunately, that's what added the extra 4 to the scoreboard. So that 12 penalty score for Hungary puts them on a team score of 4. We now, though, move to Great Britain, and this will be a key round for the British team, because with 2 clears already from Rosie Smith and Tabby Morgan-Evans, Olivia Brightmore next up, and here with Chico de la Lasvas could yet get the British team of Claire Whitaker's on to a clear, or a 0 score perhaps is a better way of saying it, with still 1 more rider to go. They could guarantee the nought at the end of round 1. So jumps nicely through that combination. Oh, she just missed the stride coming into the last, ended up too deep. And what a shame, she'd done everything else right. And unfortunately, that final fence that's now caught out a couple of different horses and riders in this Nations Cup, Children's Nations Cup, also catches out the third of the British riders, and Olivia Brightmore there finishing on a score of 4. The British team know, though, that means at worst it would be 4 come the end of round 1, but they still have that possibility of a clear. But they're now relying on Lottie Adams as their last to go. Meanwhile, we move across to the next, and this is with the Danish team. Another team very much in the same position as the British team, because they've had clears from both of their riders, so they could put themselves safely into round 2 on a 0 score if they can deliver a clear here with Emily Friend and Cartouche, this 10-year-old by Catou. Oh, there we go. It is for Denmark what they needed, with the clear round from Emily to ensure that the Danish team are in fact on clears, all through from 3 riders, with still 1 more to go. I'm sure perhaps still see their final rider, because it'll give them a good experience to go around this course, but there's no requisite for it. They have managed it with 3, and Denmark know that they will either lead or share the lead going into the second round of jumping, and that to come up a little bit later on this morning. We'll have those 20 or so individuals that jump between the 2 rounds, those not involved in the Nations Cup, jump between rounds 1 and round 2. Just having a little look. There's the bell. We're good to get underway. Well, this is Johanna Hell riding Cocobana M, 10-year-old by Comme il faut. This is Germany's 3rd rider. Another team like we just saw with Denmark that can wrap up their score with this 3rd rider. And there we have it. They do indeed wrap things up in terms of the score for round 1 with Johanna Hell's round. A lovely round of jumping there, very smooth from start to finish. And Germany joined Denmark on a guaranteed 0 score. So superb performance from 3 riders in each of those teams to ensure that they now share the lead going into the second round of jumping with still another rider in their rotation. Our attention moving to Poland. Slightly different position for the Polish team. It had started well with the clear, then had the 8 penalties with their second rider. So therefore there's not any real room for error. Well, there is no room for error here with Iga Środowska as rider number 3 with Wars. This 12-year-old by Spartacus TN. And that counts, just almost falls through the fence. But it moves that team from Poland now onto a 4 penalty score. But no further mistakes means that it is just the 4, and they don't drop too far out of play. So despite that fence going down and Poland moving on to 4, they are at the moment just 1 fence away from the lead, holding on to an 8 penalty discard. Well, there's one more rider to go in this third rotation of riders in these teams of 4, and we're back now with a home team. And again, difficult second rider for them, or a difficult round for their second rider, was a score of 12 after getting a clear to start things off. So still it could go one way or the other, but Vanessa Horakova riding Fatou de Kragan. Although there's a little bit of pressure here, and this is just a 9-year-old, this French-bred ride. It's a gelding by Bedeline de Kagan. Neat and tidy riding, although the horse just, you could see that, just a couple of strides away. Again, just running into problems here. You see that's the first horse you saw just suddenly move a little bit to the left, took a little bit of a disliking to that final fence, and it's, of course, the national flag, the planks there. Oh dear, even bigger shock as they find themselves eliminated for the second refusal. Well, massive disappointment. What a shame for the team that had started off at home with that clear round, and now, unfortunately, coming into the last fence clear, Vanessa having 2 refusals, elimination, and it means they've got to count the 12, and it really drops them away, and it puts a lot of pressure on their final rider to make sure they finish the course to go again. Well, now we come to the deciding rounds, the big moment, the 4th rider in this opening round for the Children's Youth Nations Cup here in Zduchovice in the Czech Republic. And this is Belgium, final rider for Belgium. They could yet finish on a 0 score as a team. They're holding a 4 as a discard, so that's the worst outcome. This is Marogile riding I Love You de Lantana. Mare is a 10-year-old by Baptiste de Demilune. Big applause and big congratulations, because Margot Guillier has delivered for Belgium, and it means that they will also join a share of the lead going into that second round of jumping, because they are now home and dry on a 0 score, as they can hold on to that 4 penalty discard. So great news for Belgium, who've been going so well in the youth competitions. Next up, though, it is the team from Romania, and at best they're going to be only 1 fence away. They are on a 4 at the moment. They've had a 4, an 8 and a 0. So they're holding as an 8 discarded. Now it's the turn of Horia Buteas riding Huracan RC, the stallion, 13 years of age, by Cortez 49. And the clear round here keeps Romania within a fence of the leading pack. Certainly been one of those courses today you don't necessarily want to judge too soon until they've jumped the last, but they've ridden this well. Jumped the double nicely, just keeping that leg on the outside, and there we have it. Well done to Horia Buteas and Huracan RC, because Romania keep themselves within a fence of the leading pack here, as they will go forward into the second round with just a 4 penalty score. They picked up 2 clears and a 4 and discarded the 8, so it's a good, strong round for them. Well, next to go, the Hungarian team, holding a 12 penalty guard at the moment. They've had 4 and clear. So this is the turn of Assassin Severadia riding Chevalut. Gelding by Chanko Blue, is 15 years of age, plenty of experience in terms for the horse. Big important round yet again, because you can go one way or the other when you're holding a 12 penalty discard and your last rider's coming in, and of course you can keep things on a 4, but they need their anchor rider to hold this together. Opened up that line rather nicely, gave the horse a little bit more room. It's quite a big horse, big stride. She jumped it really well. So well done there, Hungary. They also keeping this very tight. What a second round we're going to get, because it's going to come down. There's certainly not going to be a breakaway team at this stage going into that second round. Look like we can have a few teams on 0 scores equal at the top, and some very close behind as well. Well, Great Britain now, at worst, they'll be on a 4. At best, they could still be clear and join the likes of Denmark and Germany. Of course, now Belgium as well on a 0 score. But they need a clear from their final rider. Final rider being Lottie Adams. This being Khaleesi OL. This is just an 8-year-old. I think this is the youngest in the class. It's by Diamanta Semeli. of right-handed now into the final line. 4 jumping efforts left. And Lottie doing very well there, because you can see the horse just back off a little bit after the first part of that line. 1 more fence to go, and Great Britain, well done. They are also on a 0 score, and Lottie Adams delivers in the anchor position there with Khaleesi, so that ensures they are also on 0 alongside, as I said, Denmark, Germany and Belgium. You'll still see riders to jump for Denmark and Germany, but they know they are already home and dry. So there will be 4 teams going into the second round on naught. Here comes the final rider for Denmark. Silje Hartig Nielsen riding Kimono de la Roque. Showing great confidence in the way they're riding. This is a very experienced horse. Lovely round. It's a full house from Denmark. They've had clears all the way here today, and they cannot have asked for more. So cracking round from the Danish team to finish things off there. Certainly going to be one of the favourites, you'd think, now going into the second round, although we've seen things change in rounds too. What about Germany? Another team that could get a full house of clears here, with Emmerich Eckenrode riding Vienna 103, the 10-year-old mare by Viscount 22. 3 clear rounds already for the team. Seaman Eberhard there, chef to keep here for this children's team for Germany. Will be delighted with the way it's gone so far. Gave that bit of a rattle coming into the combination, but I think it stayed up. Germany will be feeling full of themselves as well, because the confidence in this sport can be key, and when you have all 4 riders having delivered clears, as Germany have just done, and like Denmark did as well, certainly going to give you a lot of confidence going in to that second round of jumping. So Germany, Great Britain, Denmark and Belgium, we all know, go forward with a share of the lead. Now though, it's Poland. We've got 2 more riders to go in this first round of the Children's Youth Nations Cup here. Poland's final rider looking to try and keep their team on a score of 4. Helena Gola riding Cabanara MK, this 12-year-old mare by Contendress. The team holding an 8 penalty as a discard. More fence to go to keep Poland just within a fence of the lead. Nicely done, really nicely done indeed. So they can hold that 8 penalty discard, and Poland on a score of 4 with the clear there from Carbonara, MK and Helena Guller. What an amazing competition this is turning into as well, because yes, we may well have, what have we got, 4 teams on 0, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 teams on a score of 4, 1 fence away from the lead. Sadly for the home team though, and certainly appreciate the feathers in the national colours as well here, but their final rider is Andrea Hakrova, riding Interesse der Strahl. Now, the Czech Republic, unfortunately with elimination, had to count the 12 they were holding on to as a discard, so they need a score here whatever happens, but any score will count. It's 10-year-old gelding by Lifestyle 16, skipping through the combination. Oh no, the last fell. 4 at the last, 4 it is, and that will mean a score of 16 for the Czech Republic as a team score as we wrap up the opening round of this FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Series, the Children's Nations Cup. And that final fence putting the Czech Republic on a team score of 16. So we now take a break from the team jumping. We're going to have the individuals next. There are about 20 of those coming after a little bit of an arena maintenance break. Then I will come back and we will focus in on that second round of the team competition. At the moment, Belgium, Denmark, Great Britain and Germany all on 0. And then you have Romania, Poland and Hungary on a score of 4 with the Czech Republic on 16. 7 teams within a fence of the lead. It is going to all come down to that second round. We'll look forward to that in due course. And then to come a little later today, we will also bring you as well the other competitions with the juniors and the young riders, Nations Cups, 3 of them today on offer here, and we'll bring it to you all live. So we'll leave you with the individuals, and I'll return in a little while for the second round of the Youth Nations Cup here in Zduchovice, live with you from the Czech Republic.
inzerce CZE. Snadno a rychle. Moderní inzertní portál, přehledná struktura a jednoduché ovládání. Obchod a služby spojené s koňmi na jednom místě. www.jezdeckainzerce.cz. Service. To je servis pro vás a vašeho koně. Buďte nároční a chtějte profesionály. 30 let na trhu, více než 30 000 druhů zboží skladem, 3 kamenné prodejny i neustále aktualizovaný e-shop. Odborné poradenství k nákupu, pasování sedel, montovat se stály, právě pro koně, sedlácké opravy, opravy, používání nového vybavení, společnost FEI Service. Jezdci.cz, web nabitý informacemi nejen pro jezdce. Zpravodajství, reportáže, rozhovory i poutavé fotogalerie. Když chcete mít přehled o všem, co se děje kolem koní. www.jezdci.cz.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue with the individuals in children category. Dámy a pánové, pokračujeme v kategorii děti, ale nyní už již soutěž jednotlivců. Na startovní listině je jako prvá za Německo Johanna Marta Rieberger a Radomír H. za Německo. Germany will start as first. Prize giving of this competition will be without horses. Dekorování této soutěže bude bez koní poskočení soutěže. Clear in 58, 69, 98, 69. Great Britain on the start. Teď Bastian Mason, Forest Ranger OL, Velká Británie. Concourse in 60-61, 4 trestné body čas 60,61. Polskou polohu dostávající jako small Elton von Hericec. Vyrovnám 73 73 a bezchybná jízda. Great Britain on the start, Honey Bows, Cavasel City, Velká Británie. Clear 73 44 73 44 a bezchybná jízda. Germany on the start now, Marino Emir, top 10 Semily. Deutschland, Německo. Proposing 65 kg 671 a 4 trestné body. Filipa Rockhausen, karosel Denmark, Dánsko. 66-28, 66-28, wrestling klubu chyba. Klasovním rotoše chvilku. Hungary Maďarsko. Vedere solamente poi c'è luce. Deutschland has champion at the start, and then can jump. Clear in 64-57 with recognized exception in 67. Polsko, Poland, Crystal Sky and Hannah Pace. Generálně 67, 67, 85 a bezchybná jízda. Hungary on the start. Loren Király for celebration. Maďarsko. Clear in 69, 55, 69, 25 a bezchybná jízda. Swiss on the start, Švýcarsko na startu, Milo Lipky a Saturn. In 68, 68,10. Start Norway za Českou republiku, the start now for Czech Republic, Viktorie Postýšilová a Hollywood. Once again, praise the week of this competition will be with our horses next to the jury box. Ještě jednou opakuji, že vytrvání této soutěže bude bez koní pod věží rozhodčí. Clear in 72.5, 72.05 a bezpečná jízda. Polsko pole na listách, Utopia Zuzana Slavinská. Clear 69, 79, bezpečná 69, 79. Nejdeme dál s první listinou za Maďarsko se představí Nore Změnená a Kaledel. Falls into 98, 18 goes to time, 98, 18 a 25, trestných bodů celkově. Mia Kara Bruder. Já. A inkognito. Germany, Deutschland, Německo. Clearing 70-46, bez výměny za 70-46. Belgium on the start. Belgia na startu Marie Deluxe, Dauphine de la Tour. We ask the owner of red Porsche with Hungarian registration to come to their car and repark their car. Thank you. Clearing 65-68, bez výměny za 65-38. Česká republika, Landres Nečája, Lahodná, Czech Republic. Povolení 78, 78 až 4 trestné body zapisuje česká dvojice. Hungary on the start now, Lene Johanna Serena, zadní Generalis, Maďarsko. Povolení 63, 36, 63, 36 a 4 trestné body. Polsko, Marcel Sopore, Pon. was going on in 69, 85, 67, 85 bylo to bez chyby. Bulgaria na startu, Bulharsko na startu, Marta Koluševa, Fury, Merchant. Pluralin 65 Valve, 60-12 poslední jízda. For Germany on the start, Lynn Renner, Cornet Celine. Deutschland ist Německo. For falls in 64-58, 64-58 po chybě, 4 těsné body. My jdeme do závěru této soutěže, odstartuje poslední dvojice Millie Donlan a Timary. Great Britain, Velká Británie. Age follows 72, 44, trestný bodu 72, 44. Ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes we will see presenting ceremony without horses next to the jury box. Dámy a pánové, za malou chvíli uvidíme dekorování této soutěže bez koní vedle věže rozhodčí. Second round of the Nations Cup children category will start in about 8 minutes. Dámy a pánové, sledovali jsme soutěž jednotlivců, kde se na místě 6. sixth place for Switzerland za Švýcarskou vyzděla Majla Vojtské Tatur. Fifth place místo 5. Polsko Poland, Hanovis Krystalská. Fourth place místo 4. Belgium, Marie Delus, Dauphine de la Tour. Third place místo 3. Bulgaria, Marta Koluševa, Fury Argent. Second place místo 2. Zweiter Platz, Deutschland, Germany, Německo, Mette de Miller, Jump. And the winner from Germany, vítězí německá dvojice Johanna Marta Liebegel, Radomír Hahn. Ladies and gentlemen, now please raise up for the nation anthem. Dámy a pánové, nyní prosím povstaňte pro státní hymnu. And we will continue in 5 minutes with the second round of the Mission Start Children category. Za chvíli budeme pokračovat v programu Úkol poháru národů.
A lidech kolem nich. Živé přenosy, záznamy, reportáže, rozhovory či edukativní videa. Kdykoliv si vzpomenete, dostaneme vás ke koních. www.equity.cz Servis. To je servis pro vás a vašeho koně. Buďte nároční a chtějte profesionály. 30 let na trhu, více než 30 000 druhů zboží skladem, citované prodejny, neustále aktualizovaný e-shop, odborné poradenství při nákupu, pasování sedel lodní, smlouva se stájí, brání pro koně, sedlářské úpravy i opravy nebo vyšívání týmového vybavení, to vše nabízí společnost Equity Service. Equity Radio, internetové rádio, které vás naladí koňmi. Zpravodajství, podcasty, audiočlánky a komentáře odborníků. Naslouchejte koním i lidem, kteří jim rozumí. www.equiradio.cz
Demande à papa.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 2 minutes we will continue with the second round. Dámy a pánové, zhruba za necelé 2 minutky budeme pokračovat druhým kolem poháru národů kategorie dětí.
Welcome back, everybody. Delighted to have you with us. We are now about to get underway with the second and deciding round of this Youth Nations Cup competition, the children's level, the first of 3 Nations Cup competitions today, and we couldn't have it much closer going into this second and deciding round. For the 4 riders in each team, 8 different teams, 7 of them are within a fence of the lead, and in fact 4 of those teams, which Belgium, Denmark, Great Britain and Germany comprise the 4, are all tied on a 0 score coming back in this second round. So 4 teams on 0, and then you have Romania, Poland and Hungary. They all sit on a score of 4. The Czech Republic, the home team, though, had a little bit of a struggle in the opening round. They therefore start on a score of 16, and they're going to kick things off as we go in reverse order of merit. Through the opening rotation of riders, Patrick Otami, though, did perform the best of the home riders in round 1, with Ladani, the clear round with the 14-year-old mare by Lodanos. So, of course, the course remains the same. Time allowed is set here at 78 seconds, and already it's a different outcome, and that is so often the case. I said it at the start of round 1, it's a little bit like stakes and ladders. You feel you're going in the right direction, but you can climb and climb, and then unfortunately fences fall in the wrong order in the wrong places, and suddenly you can slide your way down the leaderboard. It'll be fascinating, it's going to be close, and of course there is always the potential of a jump off for any teams that of course tie for equal first a little later. Unfortunately that second one going down, so of course we're going to again talk about best potential outcomes. So at the end of the opening rotation, the teams would still yet be able to finish on the scores to which they start this round, but the rounds are much more helpful. For the moment, that will stay off the scorecard. Lodani will be on a score of 8, so Czech Republic for the time being score 16 still, but the best partnership from the opening round, sadly picking up a couple of fences down in this round. Of course, in fact, that will be a counting score if we're not seeing Vanessa Harikova again, who had that elimination in the opening round. Well, we'll get that confirmed. On we go. As you can see now, it is the Romanian rider. This is the turn of their first. And Eliana Botia, and I'm Legend, 4 faults in the opening round. Interesting how she's elected to come around the planks back to fence 7. Most have used that as an inside turn just to give themselves a little more leeway on the time, but it's quite a forward horse, and she's also will be aware the time allowed didn't really cause any significant issues or worries. Very positive, very confident. Shortened up into the last, jumped it clear, and I Am Legend improving on that opening round. Score of 4 to give them a clear for the Romanian team. So there's a lot of positivity starting off with that team here this afternoon. So it keeps them on that overall outcome, potentially of 4, and puts them in a much better place. Well, another team also looking to try and stick with the 4 is the Hungarian team. Their first rider picked up 4 in round 1, Lara Kasprik, riding Caprillo KS. such a beautiful setting here in the Czech Republic. Wind certainly picked up a little bit, the sun still trying to stay with us here in the mountains. Really well done. What a tremendous day it is when you get to jump a clear for your nation, and that is exactly what they've done, so they'll be over the moon with that. And that, of course, an improved round after a score of 4 in the opening round, and it really helps the Hungarian team stay in touch, as they're certainly trying to find their way perhaps back up onto the podium, depending what happens with the others. Well, the next team to go is Poland. Poland at the third of the teams on that score of 4, coming back in this second round. Gaia Kaczmarek riding here with leader 1. Started them off with a clear in the opening round. Can she start them off with a clear in the second round? This 7-year-old stallion by number 1. Certainly gave the first part of the combination a little bit of a tap, but she did really well, and the horse, despite it being 7, showing good control through that combination. And there's a double clear. What a great day! And look at the look at what it means to her. What a lovely horse that turned into. A brilliant partnership, and it's got a big future at only 7 years of age. So well done there. It is a clear round for the first out for Poland. Double clear round in this Youth Nations Cup, the FEI Jumping Nations Cup for Youth. This is the third leg of the series this year. Now the turn of Belgium. So we move in to the teams that were on a clear. This is Eva Madaleva, I should say, riding Lorenzo. Well done, clear round, nicely sorted for Belgium to start things off strongly. Look at that, really confident. Keeping the horse nice and straight down through that line of 2 to 3, the 4 strides. Showing plenty of power. They're jumping a height of 1.25 m in this Children's Nations Cup. Well, on course at the moment, it's the first of the British riders, Rosie Smith, another who jumped clear in the opening round, and Rosie riding Mums Friselli on the TJ Hall Limiteds, this lovely and experienced 14-year-old that's been very successful, but Rosie, who delivered in round 1, was one of 3 British clears in that first round. delivers again in the second round as well. So Rosie Smith and Fratelli for Great Britain clear. So it's all honours even in terms of the teams so far that started on 0. Belgium and Great Britain both have their clears. And now we'll, in a moment, look to the third of the 4. But great jumping there from Rosie Smith yet again. Well, here we go with now the turn of Palmer, Sofie Jensen and Christiansen. It's Denmark. Now, Denmark and Germany had a full house of clears. All 4 riders going clear. So, certainly making those 2 the favourites in some respects. But we'll see how this second round unfolds now. The 11-year-old by numero uno, Linden is the name of the horse. Well done, Linden. Well done to Palmer, Sofie Jensen and Christensen as she goes clear, and it's certainly keeping it tight. I can see this going all the way into a jump off a little bit later, surely, with the way they're riding. It's some superb skill in the saddle, and they're delivering. See, they're just shortening up through the double. They've certainly worked out the way round this. Filipa Woloszewski now as the last in the opening rotation of riders. This is Krzysztof Lvov, the 10-year-old. Now the final rider in this rotation, and this is the first rider for Germany. Well, that's a shame that it is a score of 4, but for the moment they know they can still get home with that score of 0, but they're going to need now, I guess if it's anything, it's advantage to the other 3, although there's a lot of jumping still to come. But Germany, unfortunately, picking up a 4 fault score. We'll see what happens next. Back we go to the Czech Republic, and Andrej Pravles will now, as we go back to where we started. So we're into the second rider of each team, the second rotation. 13-year-old by Conthagos is Konkaba. Currently on a team score of 24. Well done. That's going to be a real fill up for the team, and that they will be absolutely delighted with as well, because that is a combination that unfortunately picked up a score of 12 with that little problem in the opening round, but to jump it clear in the second round is especially performing at home. On the 4. Well done to Kashmir, well done to Inya Marabotia there, the stallion by Contendro. And again, it's nice to see those rounds for Romania improving in this second round. It, of course, means with the clear and the 4 so far, they're still on their best potential outcome of 4. But both riders that have been for Romania so far in the second round have improved. Around they come. Casco PP here for Hungary. Dalma Petronski. Trying to keep the Hungarian team as the best of the rest, perhaps. Oh, well done then. The arms go up on the kiss and cry as well, and Dalma makes it clear. Round number 2 for the Hungarian team here in this second round of jumping. It keeps them firmly on the 4 from the opening round, and Casco PP and Dalma Petronski there not only jumping clear in this round but clear in the previous round, so they secure a double clear as well here in this Children's Youth Nations Cup. On we go to Poland, and Poland, the other team on 4. So looking now for an improvement perhaps here with Lila Glazeska and Sherlock. Now this was the discard on a score of 8 in the opening round, the 12-year-old by Shandor 34. Oh, a little bit of a nudge at the second to last. Wow, what an improvement that is for the Polish team as well. Goes from an 8 in the opening round to a clear in this round, and that is just what the team will have needed, because it keeps them very much heading towards a 4 penalty score as a final outcome. Well at the moment here for the first from the clear round teams, Belgium's Juliette Baudouins and Didier Delicien-Z. This was the only Belgian rider to have a fault in the first round, and they're certainly putting that behind them at the moment. There was only 4. It's not a very experienced, 19 years of age, or 19 years young maybe, by Darko. Belgium with a clear already in the second round, and another clear round. Belgium very much at the top table yet again for the team that sit on top of the children's leaderboard for the league over the 2 legs of the youth series so far this season in the children's category. And at the moment in a very strong position here today, so well done there to the team from Belgium. Now to the team from Great Britain, already started strongly with a clear from Rosie Smith and Friselli. That was a double clear for her. Will it be a double clear for Tabby Morgan-Evans with Bermuda's BDA, the 11-year-old by Kevin Z. Clear in round 1. Great Britain on an overall team score of 0. Looking to try now and keep themselves in play, because the way it's going, it's looking more and more likely it'll end up in a jump-off later, but we will see. Around to the right she goes. 4 more jumping efforts left. Time is absolutely fine. You can see Claire Whittaker, the chef, to keep watching on, and she's watching Tabby Morgan-Evans jump a double clear with Bermuda's BDA, and keeping Great Britain in the hunt as well, as now alongside the team from Belgium. They both have their opening 2 riders in the second round going clear. Still 2 more teams to go in this second rotation of riders, with Denmark and Germany yet to come, and of course both of those teams still very much in contention as well. At the moment watching, trying to again just enable the team to continue to follow suit. Oh, what a great day it is. This team at the moment seem to do no wrong, as their second clear comes so easily as well.
For Deutschland, it's Germany on the start. Německo, Hannes, Woodwalker, Quinn.
Brilliantly done. Therefore, we now move to Hans Hilflecker and Quinn 67. Here we go for Germany. Trying to keep the team on track. Very nicely done indeed, Germany. Certainly going to play their part here as well, and certainly don't want to be falling away in terms of their overall positions. So for the moment, they are also on a 0 score as well, because they're well, they've got that 4 penalty, but they're going to hold it as a discard for now. It does maybe just put a little bit more pressure on the German team than we would maybe say for Denmark, Belgium and Great Britain, that are at least in a position where they've had double clears so far from their opening riders. Now we go into the third rider. Getting to the business end, 2 more riders to go from each of the teams. This is Vanessa Hakarova riding with Fatinu Zduchovice, and it was such a sort of unlucky round. Really didn't deserve the elimination in a lot of respects, because they jumped clear until they got to the last, and then the horse just ran out at the final fence and wouldn't go to it. So going down is a 4 penalty score that will count, because they have an 8 penalty discard from Patrick in round 2. She rode that brilliantly to the last, really sat down and made sure that the horse was confident going to the final fence. So Fatinu Zduchovice on a score of 4. It moves the Czech team on to an overall score of 20 here for the Czech Republic, with 1 further rider to go. The 8 penalty of Patrick Opatani is still being held as a discard. Well, the next up, Argentina for Romania. Ridden by Daria Maria Kupas, another clear round. It was the 2 final riders in the Romanian team that went clear at the end of that opening round of this Children's Nations Cup. Team with a clear and a 4 so far, sticking to that 4 penalty score then overall from round 1, and hoping they can do that. It's certainly very nip and tuck. As I say, the top of the order is looking increasingly likely to go to a jump off, but we will see. perfectly positioned to achieve what they set out to as they get the clear there. So well done to the Romanian partnership as they help the team remain on that score of 4. They're holding a 4 discard, as we've mentioned. So Argentina, Daria Maria Coops goes clear with that mare, and that means it's all down to the final rider. But at worst, the Romanian team would finish on a score of 8. We will see, though, where they do end up, because now it's Hungary, and this rider is Greta Nitzman, riding Arazenta. The 16-year-old mare by Quicksilver was in fact the discard in the opening round with a score of 12. Hungary, though, at the moment remaining on the second round start score of 4. They've had clears so far from their opening 2 riders. You can see she's really concentrating, trying to make sure she positions the horse where she needs it. Just wants to make sure that that concentration doesn't turn into tension. Keep herself nice and relaxed. Well, what a tremendous way to bounce back from the 12 in the opening round for Greta Nitzman there. So Hungary, after 3 riders, have managed to ensure that they finish this Nations Cup on a score of 4. Now, I'm sure we'll still see their final rider, maybe, but it would just more be for the round. They don't have to now come forward. Moving on, Poland, can they do the same with this partnership? Because they are also in a position that they have 2 clears in this round already. Olga Travorska here on Wars. 12-year-old gelding by Spartacus TN picked up 4 in round 1, but was a counting score. Oh, and that's a score of 4 there for Riga Czerwowska, and that means that Poland just have to wait and see now how Helena Gola will go as their final rider. So it means that Poland still, for the moment, on that team score of 4, but that with the discard. So repeating the score from the opening round. Now we move into the top 4 teams. Belgium's Ella is the first of those teams, and this is the first team that can secure a 0 score for the competition overall. And as I say, this is very, very likely to head into a jump off, but we will see. Riding I Watch Vantalolomadonk Z by Special de Musa. This is an 8-year-old. Big moment for the team from Belgium. They are home and dry, clear all the way. It is the 0 score for the competition. I'm sure we'll still see their fourth rider, but they know the pressure is off. Now it's down to the others to follow suit and force Belgium into a jump-off situation here. It's a tremendous day so far for the children, and Great Britain are the first that could do that because they have clears already from Rosie Smith and Tabby Morgan-Evans. Olivia Brightmore, though, a third of the riders. She was a discard in the opening round, did unfortunately have a fence down. Chico de Lanamos, the stallion by Lord Z, but now she's in a position to perhaps help Great Britain go also forward on a 0 score and take Belgium, and then possibly, of course, Denmark and Germany as well into a jump-off situation. Down towards the last, jumps the last, and well done. Superb performance from Olivia Brightmore and Chico. Great Britain on the clear, and that is it. 3 clears from 3 riders out of 4 so far, and they will also join Belgium and head off into a jump-off situation now. It was always, I think, looking a little bit predictable, but we are definitely going that way. But we could go with 2 teams we know, could be 3, could be 4. But Denmark have certainly shown the way so far. Their third rider, Emily Frund and Cartouche. So far, across 6 jumping rounds, Denmark are the only team not to have had a single fence down. Certainly got close to that though. They gave that a little bit of a nudge in the combination. Oh no! What happened there? Jockey was committed. You can see the way she went forward with her weight balance, but the horse just coming to a stop, perhaps just putting a little bit too much of a hold. Now, of course, 6 seconds has been added onto the clock because of the rebuild. But it's that score of 4. And that means that Denmark have had their first fault so far. But for the moment, it won't affect them with their overall score. It'll put the pressure on their last to go to ensure a clear. But they will at least know that they've had their opening 2 riders go clear. Nevertheless, disappointment, I'm sure, for Emily Frund and Cartouche. Bigger disappointment now. What has happened between that final line for these 2 is such a shock, because we haven't seen, I mean, they've been jumping so well. And then suddenly it all turns on its head, and that's what this sport can do. But it is elimination. But Denmark, for the moment, stay on 0. But whatever happens now, the score counts for their last rider. Now, Germany, the other team still yet that could join a jump-off situation, need a clear here from Joanna Hell and Copacabana M, because they've had a 4 and a clear so far. So a 4 is already on the card as a discard, being held back. So far, so good. Lovely round for Germany. Jana Hell putting that round together with Copacabana, and Germany will be over the moon with that because, of course, it keeps them on target for a 0 score. They, though, have a little bit of pressure now on their final rider. Of course, they won't be able to afford to have a fence down, but they're moving in the right direction. Of course, Belgium and Great Britain both know they're going into a jump-off because they are both guaranteed 0 scores. We now move into the final rider for each of these teams in the second round. And then we'll look towards that jump-off afterwards, where the team riders will come back tied equal for first place. But the last out is the Czech Republic at home. Andrea Rokorova riding here with Entris Dorostral by Lifestyle, this 10-year-old gelding. 4 in the opening round, a team score so far of 20. They're holding an 8 penalty discard in the second round. What a great way to finish things off for the team at home here. Well done to Andrea as she jumps the clear round, and what a great finish that will be. It means the team for the Czech Republic at home do finish on a score of 20. And at the end of it all, they had that difficulty with the elimination in the opening round, which is what caused the problem, but they get home and finish it off with a clear round. Now to the Romanian team. And their team score currently is 4. They have, though, a 4 as a discard, so they can't afford a fence here, otherwise it will move them on to 8. The last to go, John Cleary in round 1. Haria Butiaz riding Huracan RC. That has gone, and that does count. Well, Romania will finish on 8, and that means that it gives the likes of Poland and Hungary just a little bit of an advantage to perhaps, of course, be ahead of them. Well, it will be for Hungary, because we know they are on a score of 4, because they've already got 3 clear rounds so far. Still, though, we'll see what happens with the Polish team, but these are the deciding rounds now. The last rider of each team in the second round of this Youth Nations Cup for the children. Still to come today, the juniors and the young riders. But it is for Huracan RC, Haria Butiaz. So with that score, moves the team on to a total of 8 across the 2 rounds of jumping. So with the Czech Republic in 8th place, Romania for the moment drop into 7th place with their score recorded. So Poland, Helena Gola riding Carbonara MK. Now this mare, 12 years of age, by Contendros. And Poland have a chance here to stay ahead of Romania if they can get the clear. If they have a fence, it'll count and they will finish on the same score. So it's a sort of battle here for Poland to try and stay on 4 with Hungary. At worst, they would drop onto 8 with Romania. Just getting a little bit disunited around the corner. is fine. Clear round secured. And Poland finished strongly. Well done there to Helena. You can see what it means to her. Very happy with Carbonara MK. And Poland then finish on that overall team total of 4. It keeps them ahead of Romania. We know that Hungary's final rider, in fact, isn't coming back because they didn't need to. So Shavulotis and Kisen Kizarmida finding no requirement to jump. So they've stayed in the warm-up arena with Poland and Hungary both on scores of 4. Now let's go to Belgium. Belgium's final rider has had the first fence down. Well, good job they didn't need that score because Margot Guillet and I Love You Delanta, well, sadly, having a difficult start after the clear in the opening round. Belgium, we know, on a 0 score with 3 clears already, but I think just wanting another round of jumping before they have to come back against the clock. Of course, the key rounds coming up are going to be the rounds from Germany and, of course, from Denmark, who both need fault-free rounds to get themselves level with Great Britain and Belgium and go into that jump-off. Are we going to retire? I think we might be. No, we're not. We're going to come again. Wow, what a difficult end for Belgium, and that, of course, is something they will have to bear in mind in that next round. But a score of 21 with time involved as well, they were grateful they didn't need it. So Belgium, we know, are on a 0 score. Just having a little look at where and what's happening next. I have a feeling, well, not much of a feeling, it looks like Great Britain have also decided Lottie doesn't need to jump from what I'm picking up. Bell goes, Denmark next to go. And of course we saw that surprise elimination from Emily Frund and Cartouche just a short while back, which means Silahan Nielsen, Quimundo de la Roque, is going to be the last out for Denmark. But they need a clear round. This score counts whichever way it turns out. Clear keeps them in play for the top step of the podium, and the fence down changes that all. Final line, 4 fences, pressure's on. Just the last to go. And we will see Denmark as... No, we won't! Well, the sport can be cruel, and she thought she was there, the crowd thought she was there, I thought she was there, And suddenly the last fence said she's not. She just dragged it off behind, and that changes it all for Denmark. They lose their opportunity to go to a jump-off situation. She was fighting a bit coming into the final fence. Heartbreak moment for the last to go. But it shows, and Denmark had been so strong through their first 6 rounds, they hadn't touched a pole. And then it all changes. Well, now, the last to go in this second round before we look to the jump-off, which is between Belgium and Great Britain, but could yet be Germany as well. Could be the top 3 for the podium, battling it out in that jump-off. The last out is this partnership, and Emma Hertz-Egendrode. Emma riding Vienna 103, and Germany are in the same boat here because they also cannot afford a fence. They're holding a 4 penalty discard. So for the moment, they need these two to go clear. This 10-year-old by Viscount 22. They are indeed safe and sound, and Germany will go in to a battle for the top of the podium. The top 3 slots on the podium, we know which nations will stand upon them, but we do not know in what order, because Great Britain, Germany and Belgium all have 0 scores. We're going to take a short break, I think about 5-6 minutes, and then we're going to be back against the clock when the teams of Germany, Belgium and Great Britain all have to do it again. One of those teams will hear their anthem played in the presentation as we get to the exciting conclusion of the first of these 3 Nations Cups here at the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth. We are live with you in Zduchovice in the Czech Republic. Jump off up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 teams in the jump off: Belgium, Great Britain, and Germany. And we will start in 1 minute.
Welcome back, here we go. You are live with us here at the FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth for the deciding jump off for the youth riders in the children's category, the first of the 3. We've gone all the way through, and with Belgium here, Eva Mendelia Larezza going to start things off. Then, of course, also involved in the jump off, Great Britain and Germany. And we're going to find out who is standing on top of the podium. We know the nations that are on it, but which order is the key? And this, their 3rd round of jumping. Shortened course, turning now down to what is a double, upright, parallel, third part taken away. The roll back turn to 7, and then it's a long gallop across the arena to the final fence at 9. Clear rounds are important, but time really does have its part to play, as in any jump off situation. They fly over the final fence. So, great start for Belgium, 43.91 on the clock, but clear, and that is going to be so important to start the team off with a 0 score. Now here we go with Rosie Smith and Friselli. This horse for the first of the British riders. Rosie clearing both the opening rounds. We've seen just how fast Friselli can be with Rosie's mum Holly, but Rosie doing such a tremendous job this season with this horse. Lovely turn back, trying to get the British team off and running in the jump off with a strong start. Really flying across the round. Claire Whitaker knows she's got a fast partnership here that she's put up front, and Rosie's responded to it as the pathfinder in both of the opening rounds. And what a round that is to start a jump off, 38.68. That's 5 seconds nearly quicker than Belgium's opening rider. So Rosie Smith doing a quite brilliant job for the British team. Now though, it is Germany. Philippa Woloreski riding here with Crystal Deluhov. There's a lot of jumping still to come. Time key, but clear rounds need to come first. Back, they're not going to be as fast as Rosie was for Great Britain. They're going to be very tight with Eva for Belgium. The clear round though looks good. If they get over the last, they have 44.18 on the clock. So starting strongly with a clear for the German team, although for the moment it is the slowest of the 3 rounds, but we're looking for combined times for the best 3 riders and best 3 scores. That's my understanding. So next up, Belgium's number 2 in their team lineup. Didier de Lisson Z, Juliette Bugermans. Ooh, gives the first a little bit of a nudge. Nice smooth turn back to 2. Again, neat and tidy. Well, they've come as tight as anybody on the turn back here. Got a little deep, still got away with it. 38.68 as well. It's a nice time. So that actually, that time is identical, absolutely identical to Rosie Smith for Great Britain. So that brings Belgium very much into play on the clock. Next up will be the British rider, Tabby Morgan Evans, second of the British team, Bermuda's BDA. Also went clear in both rounds with this 11-year-old by Kevin Z. So for the moment, I guess the aim not only is to go clear, but to be a little bit faster than the 43.91, which is the differentiator from Belgium in terms of time. And then we'll see where Germany come into play in a moment or two. Oh, got deep, recovered out of that brilliantly, 44.39. So in terms of total time, it'll just put the British ever so slightly behind Belgium. With the clear round there, though, it's exactly what the British team will have needed, because the 0 score is so important with the way this is going today. These teams have been so hard to divide. The quality of riding and performances have been, on the whole, quite brilliant. Now Germany. So this is their second rider, Hans Hulfalaka, riding Quinn 67. Now the German team of a 44.18 as their opening time. Hans, who went clear in both rounds 1 and 2. That was quite a tight turn. 9-year-old gelding. Oh dear, recovered that because the horse just slid and tripped. Is it because he was going for this most peculiar of turns to try and save himself time? Well, he went for a completely different line, went for the inside turn. Horse unfortunately stumbled on landing. I don't think that was anyone's fault. It certainly wasn't the ground. It was just one of those moments. It just hooked up, but then despite finding a completely new route, and I mean his time of 43.13, I'm not sure if that would have worked to his advantage or not, but either which way round, it has put Germany at a little bit of a disadvantage, because now we go back to Belgium, who at the moment are in a very strong position here. It's Ella Beaumont riding I Watch Avanti Almadon Z. It's so nip and tuck on the times between Belgium and Great Britain. Let's not forget Germany not out of this, but if you can get 3 clears to start with, it perhaps just takes a bit of pressure off your final rider, and if you need them to go quickly, you can perhaps allow them to take the brakes off a little bit more and allow that risk, but that has gone. that doubles the score. So suddenly things change. And of course, Belgium's final rider, who had gone clear in the first round, had a big score in the second round. So is this the moment where things start to go against Belgium in terms of the scores? Because that is now 8. 41.65 is their time. Good on the clock. But next up is Olivia Brightmore, Chico de Lamonas, rider number 3 for Great Britain. Can't win it with this round, but can ensure the British team finish on 0 whatever happens. But then, of course, we're looking to the clock as well. So I'm sure she'll have had instructions from Claire Whitaker, the chef de keep, but she jumped 4 in round 1, clear in round 2 with this stallion by Lord Zed. Really well ridden there. Saw the stride a long way off, just let the horse extend out, now coming to the turn back. One more fence left to go. Well done, Olivia Brightmore. Well done to Chico Lalamas. So it is a 0 score. It's a clear. It brings Great Britain up to the line. 43.34 as well. So time-wise, it wasn't bad, but it doesn't quite get them over the line at the moment, because that's going to depend on what happens, 1 with this round and 2 with the next from Belgium, and of course ultimately what happens with the final rider for Great Britain as well. We will see. Jana Hell, 3rd rider out for Germany, cannot afford a fence because it will take them out of contention for the win. We have a clear and a 4 so far. Picking up a bit of pace coming down towards the last. Won't be too bad on the clock either. 43.46. It's not bad at all. And it means that Germany's still very much there as well, with their counting times. 87.64 is the total. Great Britain on 82.02 with their counting times, and Belgium on 85.59 with their counting times. But now it all does get decided, because there are 3 rounds of jumping left, the last to go in each team. Margot Guillet for Belgium, I Love You Delanta, has to go clear to keep Belgium within touching distance. Then it's going to come down to the clock, but they cannot afford a fence, with Belgium now having an 8 penalty discard. Kept up a good rhythm here. Jumped it clear as well. So Belgium, could it be, will it be enough? We will find out very soon. They need a time of 43.14, or quicker than 43.14. Their other clear round, Olivia Brightmore, on 43.34. It's that tight. I've just used a calculator. So, Lottie Adams, here we go. With Kalesi OL, the 8-year-old by Diamantaselli, the last act. She didn't jump in the second round. She didn't need to. Great Britain had already put themselves through with 3 riders. So she saved that round, but now the pressure's on. It has to be clear, and it has to be faster than 43.14 to help the British team over the line. was going to say, I'm looking for the blue coat of Great Britain, not the red coat. Here we go. Lottie Adams, the final rider for Great Britain. With this wonderful young horse. Has to be clear, has to be quicker than 43.14. It's not to be. I'll get the times confirmed, but with the clears so far, we'd be thinking Belgium therefore end up, they do 125.16 versus 126.41, but there is yet Germany that could still have a say. At the moment, this is Belgium's title. They certainly would need a very fast round here to try and overcome. Well, they need a clear round. And it needs to be quicker than 37.52, which would make it the fastest round of this class so far. With it just being a small fraction between the top two teams of Belgium and Great Britain, they need that sort of time, whatever happens, to try and split the difference. Oh, now they've gone for the sneaky inside route. Does it work? Does it not? We wait to see, because that did work. And suddenly 37.52 is maybe possible. Where are they going to cross the line? 38.48. It is the fastest time of anybody in this jump-off round, but I'm just not sure it was enough. And 126.12. It has split the difference, though. And it does mean that Germany end up in the silver medal position. They finish in second place. Belgium, though, congratulations to their chef d'équipe, Philip Lucas, as they take the win here in Zduchovice in the Czech Republic. It's Eva Mendelia, Juliette Bergams, Ella Bormier and Margot Guillet that win this FEI Jumping Nations Cup for the youth, for the children's category here in the Czech Republic. Germany finishing in second place in that jump off, and in third place, and I'm not sure I've ever seen it where you get your top three teams all on the same score in a jump off, separated by just less than a second. Rosie Smith, Tabby Morgan Evans, Olivia Brightmore and Lottie Adams there, the three for Great Britain who finish in third. Massive congratulations to them. Of course, we can remember that the teams from Denmark and Poland finishing alongside Hungary on a score of 4, Romania finished on 8 and the Czech Republic on a score of 20. Still to come, more Nations Cup jumping as well, because we're going to enjoy both juniors and young riders a little bit later on today. And just confirming the times, let you work out your own time differences from wherever you're watching around the world, but we get underway at 1:30, so it's not going to be long, and we kick off here in around about 20 minutes time with the next of the Nations Cup. So that to come. Looking forward to that. So we'll get that underway in due course. In the meantime, the presentation of awards is coming away. I'm going to leave you enjoy that and celebrate with our riders as they come forward to receive the plaudits and awards from this tremendous Junior Nations Cup competition that we've been able to enjoy. Will we get a jump off again? Love it when we do. Hope we do. 2 more Nations Cups to come here today, live on FEI TV.
Dále pak ČT Volvo poznávací značka 1AB I942, taktéž majitel tohoto vozidla si přeparkuje.
V loňském roce poháru národů vítězství, v letošním roce tedy k vítězství daleko. V čem se podle vás nejvíc ty soutěže lišily?
No tak já si myslím, že to bylo hodně obtížný letos a myslím si, že hlavně, jelikož byl nový tým z dětí, tak nemá moc zkušeností úplně, ale já si myslím, že jinak to bylo podobné.
Vy jste najednou byla s tou nejzkušenější a celkem se vám dařilo, jak jste spokojená?
Hodně spokojená jsem, ale jelikož jsem měla nového koně, tak jsem byla trochu ve stresu, ale skákal super a myslím, že to bylo super.
V prvním kole jste nastupovala ve chvíli, kdy nějaký větší problém by mohl znamenat naprostý konec nadějí pro české družstvo, protože předtím přišly 2 nepovedené jízdy. Jako kapitánka v podstatě týmu, když to tak řeknu, jako ta nejzkušenější, jak jste to zvládala?
No tak bylo to trochu takový stres, protože jsem věděla, že těm 2 přede mnou se to moc nepovedlo, ale už jsem si to dala tak pro sebe a chtěla jsem tomu týmu ještě trochu pomoct. A já si myslím, že tak asi.
Povedlo se určitě. Krásný závod až do konce, sledovala jste rozeskakování, jak se vám líbily výkony Britek, Belgičanek a Němek?
No, bylo to super. Nemám k tomu asi co dodat, protože jezdí moc dobře, mají dobrý koně a je vědět, že už mají hodně zkušeností.
Díky moc.
gentlemen, now we can see best teams in children category. Dámy a pánové, vidíme nejlepší týmy v rámci dětské kategorie, kde místo třetí third place patří Velké Británii for Great Britain with the Shebecky, Claire Whitaker, Rosie Smith, Tabitha Morgan-Evans, Olivia Brightmore, Lottie Adams. Second place místo druhé pro německý tým. Second place for Germany, Seman Eberhard is the Shebecky, Filipa Valičevsky, Hannes Hoyt-Welker, Johanna Hell, Emma Hertz, Eichenrode, and the winning team, vítězný tým z Belgie, Belgium with the Shebecky, Philip Lacus, Eva Mendolina, Juliette Berghams, Ella Pomere, Margot Gillette. I would ask the riders to go out of the saddle and come to the podium. Third place, again, the British team for Great Britain with Claire Whitaker, Toby Morgan-Evans, Olivia Brightmore, Lottie Adams, and Rosie Smith. Third place. Second place, místo druhé, zweiter Platz, Deutschland, Germany, Německo. Mit der Shebecky, Eberhard Zeman, Filipa Valičevsky, Hannes Hoyt-Welker, Johanna Hell, Emma Hertz, Eichenrode. And the winner, vítězí tým z Belgie, with the Shebecky, Philip Lacus, Eva Mendolina, Juliette Bergham, Margot Gillette. Ladies and gentlemen, now please raise up for the nation anthem. Dámy a pánové, prosím, postaňte, nyní zazní státní hymna. Third place for the Great Britain today. The prize is being presented by foreign judge Ines Taylor from Austria, also then from OC's representative Ladislav Krulik and Barbara Hasela, and from Czech Western Federation Sofie Boušková. Second place, místo druhé, Germany, Německo. And the winning